come to an end, but I need to welcome you all to the commencement ceremony for August 2015 of Oklahoma State University Institute of Technology. Please remain standing for the national anthem being performed this afternoon by Pete Brown, OSU IT natural gas compression faculty member.
Join me as I sing the national anthem. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight and the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave in the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Please be seated. I'd like to thank Pete Brown for performing the national anthem for us, as well as thanks to the Oklahoma State University Pipe Band for leading our procession. Let's give them a round of applause again as they leave the stage area. I've been asked to remind everyone that today's ceremony, the exercises are being broadcast and streamed live on internet today through ostate.tv. So if you have a friend or a family member that was unable to be here today and would like to watch it via internet, you can still send them a text message and tell them to tune in right now live at ostate.tv. And of course, that broadcast will also be available after the ceremonies on our OSU IT website as well. I'd like to thank each of you for being here today and for helping us to recognize the achievements of the 201st graduating class of Oklahoma State University Institute of Technology. Between our two ceremonies that we have today, we have one at 2 o'clock and one again at 7 o'clock. We have a total of 364 students graduating from this institution. At this ceremony today, we have eligible 203 students to graduate, and I'm very pleased to tell you that of the ones we have graduating today, this afternoon, 138, that is 68%, are graduating with honors. You will see those honors designations within your commencement ceremony in the brochure for today, but 26 that are graduating this afternoon are graduating with the highest honor, that's summa cum laude. 41 are graduating magna cum laude, and 71 are graduating cum laude. In addition, you will notice that our members of our International Scholarship Society, known as Phi Theta Kappa, will be wearing gold stoles around their necks today. And ladies and gentlemen, these types of recognitions, these grade point averages do not come easily. They require a lot of work, and they deserve our recognition. Let's recognize with our applause one more time all of our honors graduates. As a military-friendly institution, OSU IT is very proud to let you know that we have graduates at most of our ceremonies that are veterans, and they can be recognized by the red, white, and blue cords that they are wearing proudly around their necks as well. And at this time, I would like to ask all of the veterans attending today, whether you're in the audience or graduating, if you could please stand and let us thank you for your service to the nation. Thank you. We are truly honored by your presence this afternoon. Now, we all know this is a very special day for our graduates. This is truly your big day. But graduates, this is also a big day for the folks that are here to recognize you. Your friends and your family, they've put up with a lot, they've sacrificed a lot, and they are just as excited that this day is here. I'm going to give the graduates an opportunity to applaud you. If you're friends or family members of the graduates, stand where you are. Let's let the graduates give you a round of applause. It is now my pleasure at this time to introduce our distinguished platform party. I'd first like to introduce the members of my cabinet, the OSU IT administrative team. Let me introduce 4 people, and let me have all of them stand before you recognize them. Our Executive Vice President of OSU IT is Anita Gordy-Watkins. Our Vice President of Student Services is Dr. Ina Agnew. Our Vice President of Academic Affairs is Dr. Scott Newman. And our Vice President of Fiscal Services is Jim Smith. And ladies and gentlemen, I could not do the work of this institution without the talents of these folks. Please help me in recognizing them and thanking them for their efforts. I've also been told that a very special guest is in the audience today. President of the College of the Muskogee Nation, Robert Bible, is here. Robert, could you stand for us? Let's give him a round of applause, too. We share a very special relationship with our sister institution here in Okmulgee and share a lot of students. So, Robert, we're delighted to have you here. President Bible, thank you for joining us. Representing our graduating class today is our student speaker, Martin McCurry, and he's on stage, and I would like to ask him to stand, and he's going to be more formally introduced in just a moment, but I want to divulge something. He's had a very special couple of days. Yesterday, he and his wife just had their first son, and we're going to be introducing him in just a few moments, but let's give him a round of applause, too. We're looking forward to his comments here in just a few months. We're very proud of him and his family. I also have another special guest seated in the audience. We are honored by the presence of a State Senator Roger Thompson, who is from Oklahoma Senate District 8. Honorable Roger Thompson, thank you for being here. Senator Thompson is a very strong supporter of this institution, and we thank you immensely. Also on stage are 2 distinguished faculty and staff members that I would like to introduce by name at this time. First is the outstanding staff member as selected by the OSU Faculty Staff Association, Mrs. Pat Singleton. She has been employed at OSU IT for 9 years, and since coming to OSU IT, Pat has worked in the purchasing department for 5 years, and then she transferred to the Student Life Office where she works as a staff assistant. She has served on the Faculty Staff Council since 2012 and is currently the chair of the Faculty Staff Council. And I want to tell you a little story about Pat. The way she was inspired to go back and continue her education, she says that she was attending her sister's college graduation and watched as a young lady walked across stage earning her bachelor's degree, to be followed by that young lady's mother earning a degree, to be followed by that young lady's grandmother earning a degree, all at the same ceremony. And that inspired Pat. So when her youngest child was ready to graduate, she returned to school after 30 years and received an associate in science degree in business from OSU IT, and she says that you are never too old to continue your education, and you know what, I believe, I agree with her. Let's give Pat Singleton a round of applause. I would like to also introduce this year's outstanding faculty member as selected by the OSU IT Faculty Staff Association, Mr. Thomas Holman. Now, he has been teaching for OSU IT in the School of Arts and Sciences since 2004. His courses include American Government, American History, Oklahoma History, Geography, and Humanities. He taught at the University of Central Oklahoma and Rose State College prior to becoming a faculty member here at OSU IT. After leaving the U.S. Air Force, he attended University of Central Oklahoma, where he earned a Master's of Arts degree in History in 2001 and in English in 2005. He attended the university and discovered his true call to be a teacher, and our students have greatly benefited from his dedication to the classroom for many, many years now. Now, Thomas states that he is honored to be teaching at OSU IT and to have been selected and recognized as this year's outstanding faculty member, Mr. Thomas Holman. And finally now, it is my distinct privilege to introduce our commencement speaker for the hour, the Oklahoma Secretary of Education, Workforce, and President of OSU Oklahoma City, Mrs. Natalie Shirley. When hired as the president of Oklahoma State University, Oklahoma City in 2011, Natalie Shirley became the first female president in the OSU system. Earlier this year, she was also appointed by Governor Mary Fallin to serve on her cabinet as Secretary of Education and Workforce Development. In this capacity, she works with the governor to implement the Oklahoma Works program, which is designed to increase educational attainment for Oklahomans. Between 2007 and 2011, Natalie Shirley served as the Oklahoma Secretary of Commerce and Tourism under Governor Brad Henry, and was also Executive Director for the Oklahoma Department of Commerce. Prior to this, she was president of ICI Mutual in Washington, D.C., after serving in various leadership offices in the company. In addition to the dual role that she serves as the OSU OKC President and Secretary of Education and Workforce Development, she serves on the United Way Board, as well as several business boards, including the Greater Oklahoma City Chamber of Commerce, the Oklahoma City Convention and Visitors Bureau, Bank First, AAA Oklahoma South Dakota, and the Oklahoma State Fair Board. She also serves on the Jameson Moran Children's Museum Board of Trustees. And you folks can read her full bio in the commencement program this morning or this afternoon, but I would like to have you all please give a warm round of applause to our commencement speaker, Natalie Shirley.
Good afternoon. It's a great day to be a cowboy, isn't it? Congratulations, graduates. I greatly appreciate the opportunity to share this occasion with you. If you're beaming with pride, whether you're a student, a parent, a mentor, a professor, or a friend, well, you deserve it. You have all accomplished this together, and it was no easy task, but you did it. You chose a path that required more effort, more patience, more struggle, and more persistence. And yet, you persevered. Perhaps along the way, you told yourself it would be easier to quit. Perhaps along the way, you asked yourself, is this even worth it? Several years ago, a sociologist was interested in this very concept. This sociologist was fascinated by the concept of status quo, the way things are, and the unwillingness to change. So he devised an experiment with 5 monkeys in a cage. Into the cage, he placed a ladder, and then above the ladder, he hung a banana. Immediately, one of the little monkeys climbed the ladder and retrieved the banana. However, down below, his cohorts were being sprayed with water. So when the monkey with the banana climbed down, dry and with the banana, the wet monkeys pummeled him. The next day, the experiment was repeated. This time, another monkey climbed up for the banana, and while he was there, the monkeys were sprayed. Every day, the same thing happened until all the monkeys had tried. They'd all tried to climb up the ladder and get the monkey, or get the banana, and then come down. The next week, they changed the experiment up a little bit. There was to be no more spraying of the monkeys. And each day, one of the monkeys from the original group was removed and a new monkey was put in. The new monkey, seeing the ladder and the banana up there, would climb up there for that banana. But when he got back down, the other monkeys pummeled him, even though they hadn't been sprayed with water. This happened every day for a week until all the monkeys in the room had never been sprayed with water. But even though each one of those monkeys hadn't been sprayed with water, the group would not allow anyone to climb up that ladder to reach the banana or the prize. This teaches us that status quo is powerful. Business as usual, the as is, the way things are done is powerful. We will not reach for the prize for reasons we don't even understand. And others may keep us from reaching the prize for reasons they don't understand. Yet, here you are. Despite the effort, the stress, the getting sprayed by water, something within you or someone around you said, yes, yes, you can do this, and yes, it's worth it, and you get the prize. You buck the status quo. Now what? My hope is that from this point forward, you do two things to continue to rise above the status quo and reach for that next prize, for your sake and for this great state's sake. Number one, expect more of yourself. To do this, I challenge you to not only dream, but dream big. Your dream should require you to reach deep within you, within your reserves of drive and tenacity, and make you feel challenged and motivated to move quickly and with grand purpose. To some, dreaming isn't considered a very practical pursuit, but I will tell you that without dreaming, reality would be dull, dire, and desperate. Electricity, the automobile, space exploration, Xbox, iPhone, none of these hit the engineer's drawing board before they entered the mind and imagination as dreams. And big dreams they were. Big dreams also require big plans. In other words, make no small plans. At OSU IT, you have a decades-long master plan, which represents a cornerstone of your strategy to transform the present and prepare for an inspired future. You too need a master plan. And your plan, like OSU IT's, will lay out what you want to achieve and the fundamentals needed for getting there: education level, housing, transportation, and food. Now I'll tell you, life can get in the way, and it does get in the way. And over time, your plans will change. That's okay. In fact, it's usually a good idea. The best plans have flexibility built into them. Now, once you dream big and you've made no small plans, it's time to do great things. In Malcolm Gladwell's book, The Outliers, he discusses what it takes to master a skill. He notes that people at the very top don't work harder or even much harder than everyone else. They work much, much harder. When I was a little girl, my family had very limited financial means. Sometimes we didn't have food, and we always wore secondhand clothes. I wasn't the smartest person in my graduating class, I wasn't the tallest, and I certainly wasn't the prettiest, but I was determined to succeed. I knew that I could make a choice to work harder than anyone else, and I did. I worked 3 jobs at a time to put myself through college, and today that work has paid off. I've traveled around the world with my job. I've met former presidents and count governors as my friends, and I get chosen for some of the most exciting projects in this state, all because I'm willing to work harder than anyone else in the room. Now, certainly, there are those who have innate talent, but to get to the top, the thing that distinguishes one performer from the next is how hard he or she is willing to work. Now, here's where I diverge from the typical graduation speech. Instead of telling you how to achieve your own dreams, I'm going to tell you the second way to supersede the status quo, and that is to expect more of others. Think back to those monkeys. When they went to get that banana, they got pummeled when they got down, discouraging future monkeys from ever even trying to reach the banana. Sometimes without knowing it, we are keeping those around us from reaching for the prize. Michael Garrison calls this the soft bigotry of low expectations, which is just Washington speak for the phrase we know well in Oklahoma, bless your heart. He can't count to 10, bless his heart. She doesn't know how to screw in a light bulb, bless her heart. He just doesn't know any better, bless his heart. Bless your heart turns being rude and hateful into pity. Bless your heart means, I expect no more and no better out of you. I really think that bless your heart is one of the meanest things that you can say to someone. It's spraying that person with water so that they don't dream big, go for the prize, or expect anything more out of themselves. It reaffirms the status quo and keeps us and our state at the bottom. Instead, we must have higher expectations of those around us, because high expectations are just as powerful as low expectations, but the rewards are greater. As I said earlier, I grew up in a very poor family. I remember my father eating crackers and milk for dinner when that can of soup just didn't stretch as far as it did the day before. Even though my parents were unable to continue their education, with my dad not even graduating from high school, it was of primary importance to them that my siblings and I went to college. So much so that when a salesman came calling to sell World Book encyclopedias, my mother actually quit smoking and used that money to make the payments for the books. My parents had their eye on the prize for me and my siblings. That prize was a better life, and the ladder to that prize was education. They expected us to get an education, and we did. As college graduates, you must not only expect more of yourself, but you must expect more of others. You must encourage them to choose the same path that you did, a path that requires more effort, more patience, and more perseverance, but a path that leads to more prizes. Parents, families, and friends, we have a responsibility to encourage our graduates to dream and to dream big. We must help them make a plan to accomplish that dream, at least get out of their way. And every day, we must exhort them to work hard so that they can achieve their dream. Graduates, the expectation has been raised, and you are on a path to success. Now, you must raise those expectations of those around you. Let's encourage family and friends and peers to climb the same ladder that you have. Congratulations, and go Pokes.
Thank you, Natalie, for those inspiring words. I'm sure our graduates have benefited from your comments. It is now my privilege to introduce our student respondent, Martin Emerson McCurdy. Martin was reared in Birmingham, Alabama, before returning to his father's hometown of Okmulgee and attending OSU IT. McCurdy is graduating with a Bachelor of Technology in Information Assurance and Forensics, as well as a Bachelor of Technology in Information Technology Enterprise Management. He was active in several campus organizations, including Networking Gaming Executives, the Multicultural International Student Association, Student Activities Board, and the Association of Information Technology Professionals, where he served as president in 2014 when it was named Club of the Year. Martin was nominated to the All-Oklahoma, All-USA academic team in 2015 and was an intern presenter at the Oklahoma Center for the Advancement of Science and Technology Showcase in 2014. He graduated summa cum laude with an associate in applied science and information technologies in December 2013, and again in April 2015 with an associate in science and information technologies. He currently works as a security analyst and junior consultant at True Digital Security in Tulsa, and plans to pursue a master's degree from OSU in Information Systems Management and Business Administration, with an emphasis on information assurance. My notes say that he's expecting a newborn son, but as we know, the newborn son has already arrived. So help us welcome Martin Edgar Amir McCurdy and Martin to the podium. Thank you.
How many days? How many days of wondering that we would reach this day? Today marks the culmination of a project's conception and the project close. We, the 201st graduating class of OSU IT, join me in welcoming our distinguished guests, Oklahoma Secretary of Education and Workforce, Natalie Shirley, members of the Board of Regents, our President, Dr. Bill Path, the Executive Administration, deans, the outstanding faculty and staff, families, friends. Thank you for this opportunity to speak to you today. The graduation feeling is unsettling. It's a time that lives are torn between the joys of our collegiate experiences and the excitement of our skilled futures. Should we reflect that these are the greatest years of our lives, times full of joy, like the rowdy sounds of Carnival outside of Covell Hall, the aroma of breakfast from Moonlight Breakfast, in the student union, the resounding ring of familiar tunes from the bell tower, or is it the calmness of Okmulgee at sunset? We've been impatiently anticipating this day for many days, and now we just want to soak it in. We want to slow it down and reflect on its last fleeting moments. Our lives are forever altered after we change over these tassels. We entered the friendly confines of OSU IT with an idea to complete a project. It seems like just yesterday we were getting settled into Okmulgee. It seems like just yesterday there were bags being hauled in and out of the residence halls. It seems like just yesterday we had orientation, and we had the pleasure of doing uncomfortable icebreakers on the first day of class. We all walked onto campus for the first time as students, and we will now walk off campus as skilled professionals. As the trimesters passed, we grew, and we learned not to allow external circumstances to define us. That's right, my teammates, our project scope would change, and it would be made on our terms. The friends we sit with today are undoubtedly some of the main contributors within our charter and have progressed into additions of our families. We matured together on the campus of Okmulgee, and at times and places we would never thought we had went without OSU IT. This university provided us with a place to learn, but a true home. We were fortunate to experience the way of doing things correctly. We learned how to do things the cowboy way. The diplomas that we receive is a representation of scholastic and triumph. But we must remember more the performance that accomplished this achievement, both the heartache and the delight. The diploma itself is framed while the project continues. We execute new phases and responsibilities. We're now set to progress into new phases of our project. Our project will veer off from the plans we designed, for therein lies the essence of our project, its true beauty. OSU IT has instilled in us a tremendous fire, a passion for creativity, innovation, and a desire to improve the lives of our families. We owe it to each other, our families, our professors, our university, our country, and our God to achieve our wildest dreams. Our professors and classmates have both pushed us to the brink for us to think critically and to accomplish any goal. As graduates of Oklahoma State University Institute of Technology, we can do anything. In the words of the great Nelson Mandela, education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world. So 201st class of OSU IT, let us commit ourselves to the belief that we can change the world. With this belief, our project is destined to be successful. We came on the campus many days ago with different backgrounds and with different life experiences. We leave this campus many days later as a collective unit. We are the 201st graduating class of OSU IT. No matter the schools we came from, whether that's nursing and health sciences, culinary arts, engineering, or construction technologies, visual communications, and watchmaking, we are all members of our university community. Let us put aside the joy of our collegiate memories and the excitement of our skilled futures for the time being. For as the late B.B. King said, the beautiful thing about learning is that no one can ever take it away from you. At this moment, we're in absolute bliss. So raise your guns. We're Oklahoma State Cowboys, and it does not get any better than that. Thank you.
Congratulations, Martin, and thank you. Would all candidates please rise? President Path, I am pleased to represent the faculty and inform you that these candidates for graduation have completed the requirements prescribed by the Oklahoma State Regents for Higher Education for the degrees of Associate in Applied Science, Bachelor of Technology, and Associate in Science. I hereby recommend to you that the degrees be conferred.
Upon this recommendation, and by the authority vested in me by the OSU Board of Regents and the Oklahoma State Regents of Higher Education, it is my distinct privilege as president of Oklahoma State University Institute of Technology to confer upon each of you the degrees for which you have been recommended with all the rights and privileges pertaining thereto.
During the presentations, anyone is welcome to take pictures, but please know that a professional photographer is taking pictures of all of the graduates, and your graduate will be able to order photos from that agency. I would also ask you to give your full attention to all of our graduates today. The last graduate is just as important as the first, and we want each of them to receive full recognition. Graduates of the Oklahoma State University Institute of Technology, we will now begin your graduation walk.
Representing the School of Arts and Sciences, Dr. Mark Allen Dean. School of Arts and Sciences, Allied Health Sciences, Pre-Communication Sciences and Disorders, Associate in Science, Chelsea Hurst. Ariel Lemasters. Courtney Palmer. Naila Janae Plunkett. Lexis Christine Stark. Allied Health Sciences, Pre-Nutritional Sciences, Associate in Science, Ashley Nicole Carriage. Gretchen Rochelle Palmer. Business, Associate in Science, Shannon Lane Baker. Megan M. Connor. Rachel A. Courtney. The Outstanding Graduate Business, Kendra Dawn Fitzel. AS in Business, as well as AS Pre-Education, Jacqueline C. Nimrod. Sally Ortiz. Office Information Systems Technology, Associate in Applied Science, Angela Michelle Whitson. Pre-Education Secondary, Associate in Science, Alexandria N. Gaddy. Heath Lee. James K. Sell. Pre-Education, Associate in Science, Candace Bobineau. Representing the School of Construction Technologies, Steve Olmsted, Dean. School of Construction Technologies, Air Conditioning and Refrigeration Technology, Associate in Applied Science, Chad A. Bauman. Noah M. Bury. James Butler. Jordan Elbert. The Outstanding Graduate Award, Dalton F. Flowers. Michael D. Haney. Ethan R. Hayes. Callahan S. Henry. John David Kirby. James T. Morgan. Skylar J. Pierce. Colton S. Potter. Thor E. Sewell. Construction Technology, Construction Management, Associate in Applied Science, Dooley Shea Bertholf. Grant L. Bullard. Ivan or even? Ivan Castaneda. Cole A. Corvin. Park Davis. Rachel G. Dion. Jeremy K. Hazard. Wyatt Allen Curtis Hughes. Nathan Dale Janeway. Patrick A. Johnston.
Go Patrick!
Josh Cranebill. Marshall S. Motley. Construction Management, Outstanding Graduate, Timothy Lee Odom. Jake G. Sutherland. Beantre R. Williams.
Thank you.
Construction Technology, Electrical, Associate in Applied Science, Amory C. Bagby. Briar J. Campbell. The Outstanding Graduate, Electrical Construction, Seth D. Chandler. Dylan Ray Guest. Tegas Callahan Meek. Zachary Eugene Palmer. Patrick Blaine Rose. Jacob T. Threet. Polo Ignacio Turbiartes. Jose Refugio Velasco. Jacob Aaron Wares. Cole Young. Construction Technology, High Voltage Electricity, Associate in Applied Science, Logan Boyd Aslin. Colby Brackett. The outstanding graduate, High Voltage, Brandon C. Duncan. Tony Johnson. Lael Lamon LeBlanc. Andrew N. Lyons. Trenton Roberto Massey. The outstanding graduate, High Voltage, Eric W. Moore. Trevor Rouse. Dalton Trotter. Joseph Neil Walker. Charles Tyler London. Representing the School of Culinary Arts, Chef Renee Yungo, Dean.
Yes, yes.
School of Culinary Arts, Associate in Applied Science, Rachel Bryant. Christina Clanton. Sean M. R. Cochran. Joyce Dean Dermody. Kamal M. Elgadi. Kaylee Ellison. Jacob Lynn Fusion. Megan Carolyn Gray. Jesse Owen Halford. Kevin Ernest Jindra. Charlie A. Jordan. Kristen Elizabeth Meister. Bradley Allen Muck. Mario Murrow Rojas. Charles Lee Reinhardt II. Christopher Stanfield. Representing the School of Engineering Technologies, Dr. Abul Hassan, Dean. School of Engineering Technologies, Civil Engineering Technology, Bachelor of Technology, Daniel L. Butler, Jr. Taylor Aaron Lynch. Vanessa Leanne Medlock. Jonathan Terry Pixley. Instrumentation Engineering Technology, Bachelor of Technology, Daniel Edward Carter. Joseph C. Deerham. Cody B. Johnson. Kyle A. Moore. Jason Lynn Strike Axe Murphy. J. Matthew Siemens. The outstanding graduate, Engineering Technologies, Bachelor of Technology, Jason R. Westall. Engineering Technologies, Electrical, Electronic Technology, Automation and Control, Associate in Applied Science, Chase Dwayne Godwin. Stephen M. Wilson. Engineering Technologies, Electrical, Electronic Technology, Associate in Applied Science, Karen Jessica Airy. Zachary R. Ingram. Weston Edmund Newell. Electrical Technologies, Engineering Graphics and Design Drafting, Associate in Applied Science, Adam Vincent James. Engineering Technologies, Manufacturing Technology, Associate in Applied Science, Cale Matthew Danker. Cody William Danker. Jason C. Guest. Engineering Technologies, Power Plant Technology, Associate in Applied Science, Kenna M. Dunlay. Dylan J. Gardner. Jansen Dale Gunn. Nathan D. Pittner. Brandon L. Sorum, Jr. Clayton Wayland Wilhelmsen. Sean A. Wright. Representing the School of Information Technologies, Randy Ritchie, Dean. School of Information Technologies, Information Assurance and Forensics, Bachelor of Technology, Cameron Dale Brown. Alan Brown. Kelly Wade Hickman. Scott E. Horton. Ryan Irwin. Linda O. Kimbrell. Information Technologies, Information Assurance and Forensics, and IT Enterprise Management, Bachelor of Technology. The outstanding graduate, Information Technologies, Martin A. McCurdy. Information Technologies, Information Assurance and Forensics, and Network Infrastructure, Bachelor of Technology, Ryan Christopher Warren. Information Technologies, Associate in Applied Science, Stephen T. Harrington. He also has an AAS in Information Technologies. Also with an AAS in Information Technologies, Ethan H. Prescott. AAS Information Technologies as well, Celia M. Silk.
Jennifer Block. They didn't put, I was like, that's
Jennifer Block.
Jennifer Block.
Representing the School of Nursing and Health Sciences, Jennifer Block. School of Nursing and Health Sciences, Orthotic and Prosthetic Technologies, Associate in Science, Lisa Cook. Joseph P. Goddard. Jesse Allen Helm. Richard K. Lott. Wrangler Chong.
Wasn't that a lot of fun? I tell people all the time my favorite day to work on a university campus is graduation, because I get to see the celebration of the families and friends and participate in the culmination of a lot of hard work from these graduates. Congratulations to all of you. I'd like to ask all the graduates to please rise at this time. It's a very special moment. You may now turn your tassels from the right to the left, signifying an important milestone in your life. Now officially, ladies and gentlemen, I am proud to present to you the 201st graduating class of OSU IT. If you're not standing already, let me ask everyone to rise. We're going to be led in the OSU alma mater once again by Pete Brown, and the words are in your program.
Proud and immortal, bright shines your name, Oklahoma State, we herald your fame. Ever you'll find us loyal and true to our alma mater, OSU.
Please join me in giving this outstanding group of graduates one more round of applause. OSU IT wishes to thank all of you for being here on this very special day. To help ensure that no family member or friend is left out of personal photos, please see OSU IT staff members wearing the yellow photo assistant vest. They're here to assist you with the taking of photos for your personal phones or cameras. Also, complimentary bottles of cold water are being distributed outside both the south and east entrances to graduates and guests on a first-come basis. We appreciate all of you attending today's graduation ceremony, and please enjoy a safe trip home. We are now dismissed.